I have veteran accounts of them doing that, so, but, you know, you don't need this for an impression. They're pretty hard to get, and also, you know, like I said, they weren't really given out, but, yeah. Now let's see here. I'm trying to wait. Oh, okay, these are my last two, and they both have compasses in them. One of them is real, and one of them is fake. Now, see this? It has a compass and a bandage. It can be done. They fit. It's kind of snug, but they fit. And that's what that one guy said he did. Now, let me put this down and bring him out real quick. And the bandage is 1982 dated. There. Nothing. You won't be able to read it again. Probably not. And the pouch, which you can read, is 1988. Now, let me show you here. You will be able to see that just fine. 1988. DLA 188. Now, the DLA code is basically the same thing as the SPO. The SPO, 100, and then the number. DLA, 100, and then the number. DLA was discontinued in 92 and replaced by SPO. And before DLA, which I think was introduced in 77, was the... before DLA was DSA, which was... used throughout Vietnam. I think it was introduced in 62. And I have some of my equipment from the 70s, which we'll show you later on, some of the equipment which has that code, the DSA code. So I'll just kind of show you, but if it has a DLA code, it is most likely 80s, but it could be very early 90s or very late 70s. Whereas if it has a DSA code, it could be 60s or 70s. So yeah, that's that. Now here's my compass. This I got, they were selling the original, real ones, which were they were selling them for like $70. And then they had this, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get that. And this was years ago. When I did my very first video on 80s gear ever on my main channel, I had this, because this was when I was buying all my gear to do, to finish 80s real quick, because, it was before I did much research. I just kind of, found out, they had Woodland Alice, and that's basically all you need to get. And that's when I wanted to just get that and be like, oh, cool, I'm done. But, I didn't do much research. I got a compass just assuming everyone had a compass, but that's not the case. You could private purchase them as far as I'm aware. But yeah. Anyways, I bought this because I wasn't going to pay that price for an original, or a real one anyways. So I got this. It's a little replica. And he sold it, I think it was like $5, which is kind of cool. It did the part. It looks the part. But it doesn't actually work. Or at least it's not like the really nice ones. But actually, just a few days ago, I went to an antique store, and they had, not just this, an entire website. And I will do a separate video on that for my main channel, just because, but I will show it in this video, but, I got a lot of cool stuff with the website. And I did really good, because I got the entire website for $40, and it had this, which is, the compass. But anyways, let me open it. And the pouch is 1975, and it actually has the DSA code, so I'll get to show you that. Let's see here. There it is. DSA 175. This is the pretty early Alice pouch. Now, you see there's a paracord tied to the back. It's been dummy corded. I didn't do that. Like I said, this is how I got everything. The entire website. I haven't messed with it, and I'll show you later or in a different video. But when you pull it out, the dummy cord idea, and they dummy cord canteens and stuff like this, the lights, the strobe lights, and various other things, so that when you drop it, it won't, get lost. If you drop it, it won't, crash to the ground and get lost. It'll stay there, dangling. But anyways, this is a real one, which is cool. And I got it with a full set of webbing, so that's, or web gear, so that's cool. Let me open it up. But while I'm doing this, I might as well tell you that another term for Alice would be LBE, and LBE is load-bearing equipment. People use that a lot, and other people were like, what's that mean? Well, that's what that is. And then there's also TA50, and I don't remember what TA stands for, table something, I believe. But it's basically TA50 is your issue gear. So I've heard that. They didn't really use that term much. Most of the time they called it either Alice or LBE or your web gear. They usually didn't call it the TA50, but, I've heard that term used. And then I believe the Marines still use the term, because I've heard someone refer to modern Marine gear like this, 782 gear. I don't know if they still use that term in the 80s. I'm sure they did. Surely they did, but I'm not sure. Marine's not my area of interest. I mostly focus on Army, but, you know, if you can correct me on that, feel free to. But anyways, here's the compass, and I have no idea how it works. I do not remember something. I don't remember. I apologize. I don't know much about it. I just, you know. But anyways, that's that. Now let me talk about a few of the other bandages. You saw the 80s type that I have in all mine, and then you saw the modern type. There also, if you're doing 70s, you can use these. This has got the DSA code, but it doesn't have a date, so probably 70s, or it could be 60s. This is the same as the Vietnam era. This one's the same, just has a contract number. Then this one's the only one I have dated. It's 69, so this is Vietnam era, so these are probably both of that era, but you can see these throughout the early 70s, and you could probably see them into the mid to late 70s in use, but, you know, this type being more common. I don't know, the earliest I've ever seen this type dated is 81, so I don't know when this type came out. Maybe those were used all the way up until 81. Who knows? Another type would be these, and these usually weren't carried by normal soldiers. These were usually only carried by medics. And this is 1983, and this one I can't read. But what it is inside it, it's this, and then there's a clip, or not a clip, safety pin. Hold on a moment. It's just a giant triangle, and you can use it to make a sling or something, but a lot of guys would take these, and they'd use them as like sweat rags. You'd tuck them around you'd put them around your neck. But also, I've heard from accounts that tankers would often get them from the medics and use them as face covers. Not always, but I have read from a few tankers that they did that. I believe only 2, but I'm only talked to 3 tankers. So, you know, he said that they'd get these, and he also said they didn't have the goggles issued, which is interesting. I assume that all tankers had them, but he said they never got them, so that's kind of interesting. I'll probably do. Now, see, we're already 18 minutes in, and I have not covered anything but the bandage/compass pouch. Maybe I went too into detail, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to have to end this video here in a second and do a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4. But anyways, then there's this bandage. I know very little about it, but I picked it up because it was 1981 dated. Probably, I wouldn't imagine a normal soldier would carry this. Maybe they would, but I'm sure this would probably be only something a medic would carry. But I mean, that's it for all of these, and I'll do another video where I talk about placement. I'll do that when I'm doing the video about setting it all up. But yeah, that was the different component, that was the contents and components. I mean, I've also heard, not from the veteran, but from some collector, that it was pretty common that they'd have like a separate one of these, and they put on the inside the Alice pack or on the Alice pack, and they just have like a sewing kit and some other stuff, and they just have that like be a little repair kit, and they have like spare Alice clips and stuff. I don't know. I haven't heard it from veterans, but I haven't brought it up with them either. Never think about it, so I can't confirm whether they did or didn't. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video, and I'll do a part 2, and I'll probably I don't know what the part 2 is gonna be on. Probably belts, and then I can probably cover belts and suspenders in the same video. Probably more. I don't know why this video was so long, because I did introduce it as well, introduce the equipment and talk a little bit about it. But yeah, hopefully the other videos won't be as long about the certain subject. So, sorry it's so long, but I hope you enjoy the info.